What's up lads, welcome to another video, and I'm here to make you 1% better. Do you tell yourself you'll go to the gym, you'll eat healthy, or do more study, but you never end up doing these things for more than a few weeks? Well, the secret is to develop habits. As Tony Robbins says, it's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives, it's what we do consistently. Now my goal for this video was to make it the only resource you'll ever need to develop habits that stick. I failed at developing habits for years, so I sifted through countless habit books, studied tons of successful people, and spent years testing what works. And I've finally come up with 10 keys that have allowed me to develop habits that stick, without ever skipping a single day. Except for one, using these keys I'm about to share with you, I've been able to maintain these habit streaks with a 99% success rate. The first key, understand that it takes about 66 days to develop a habit. This is why Tai Lopez's program has 67 steps.
Here in my garage.
He just added one extra because he's f***ing ruthless like that.
Here in my garage.
66 is a commonly cited figure that comes from a 2009 study published in the European Journal of Social Psychology. The aim was to investigate the process of habit formation in everyday life. 96 volunteers are chosen eating, drinking, or activity behavior to carry out daily in the same context for 12 weeks. In rare instances, it could take 18 to 254 days for a habit to become automatic. 66 days was just the median time it took to reach 95% asymptote, for the minority of you that somehow remember that mumbo jumbo you learned in maths class. 21 days is a common myth from the book Psycho-Cybernetics, so don't give up until you reach at least 66 days, because each consecutive day, your habit becomes a little more automatic. The second key is to build one habit at a time. Multitasking. You end up diversifying your focus and losing them all. As a rule of thumb, I only like to start building another habit after about 30 days, when my first one is semi-automatic. Moving on to the third key, the KISS principle. Keep it simple, stupid. Stop setting the bar so high that you can't be f***ed maintaining the habit. You wake up and you go, I gotta jog 4 miles. Or you go, f*** me, I can't be arsed doing 30 push-ups today. Make it so easy your grandma could do it. Do 10 push-ups, 5 push-ups, 1 push-up if you have to. Stephen Guy's author of Mini Habits says, isn't it easier just to move forward 1 centimeter and let momentum help you out? For each habit you develop, find the sweet spot that works for you. I wanted to develop a 20-minute exercise habit, but the thought of jogging for 20 minutes every goddamn day was emotionally taxing. So you know what I did? I started walking for 5 minutes. I'm on day 65 and walk for 20 minutes every day because when I'm already outside, I figure I may as well keep going. As Woody Allen said, 80% of success is showing up. Number 4, establish your why. So you want to exercise every day? Well, why? When you feel like giving up, return to why you started in the first place. Use it as fuel to keep you going. Also, ensure the habit is intrinsically rewarding. Stephen Guy's author of Mini Habits says, true self-discipline is not when you have someone ordering you to do push-ups. It's when you decide on your own to do them. Key number 5, keep the context constant. There is a consensus that habits are acquired through incremental strengthening of the association between a situation, cue, and an action. The repetition of a behavior in a consistent context progressively increases the automaticity with which the behavior is performed when the situation is encountered. This is why I always sit down at the dining room table to write in my journal, and I follow the same route on my walk every single day. Number 6, be held accountable. Here are 3 ways for you. Number 1 is tracking. Now I hate times, dates, numbers, and feeling obligated to check in with something regularly. Hate it. But this is necessary. Don't worry though. The Streaks app makes it incredibly easy. All you have to do is download the app to your iPhone. For Android users, try Habit Ball. Habit bullshit. Add your habit, then tap and hold the circle every morning and admire your habit streak rising every day. Number 2, social accountability. Here, have a short-lived dose of this inspiring quote from Stephen Covey. Accountability breeds responsibility. I proclaim my goals on my personal Facebook page for this reason. Tell your friends or drop a comment below to hold yourself accountable. I'll be checking the comments. Number 3, steaks. And we're not talking a big juicy red steak. We're not talking a bloody snake you drive into the... not a snake. And we're not talking a steak you drive into the vampire on that Vampire Quest in RuneScape. Give your best mate $500 and tell him that no matter what, he can't give your $500 back unless you complete your habit every single day for 30 days. Now, what are your chances of doing so? Very high indeed. In fact, Stick.com is a goal accountability site where you can put money on the line. You lose it if you don't check in on your habits regularly. According to Stick.com, the goal completion percentages of 2008 to 2011 for people who chose not to put money on the line was 34%. But those who offered to give up money if they failed to achieve their goal had a goal completion rate of 73%. They were twice as likely to follow through. I spent over $30 on a moleskin journal instead of a $3 journal, which was essentially my steak. Because I had invested so much into the journal, I was more motivated to make use of it so my money didn't go to waste. Key number 7, really important. Never skip 2 consecutive days. I repeat, never skip 2 consecutive days. And here's why, as Nathan from Productivity Game explains.
When trying to build a daily habit, research shows that failing to execute the habit for one day is not a big deal. It simply reduces your odds of adopting the habit by about 5%. But if you fail to execute the habit for 2 days in a row, you'll reduce the odds of adopting that habit by 55%. Miss more than 2 days in a row, and you'll reduce your chances of building that habit by 90+%. Therefore, your primary goal when onboarding a habit is to make sure it doesn't miss more than 2 days of work in a row.
Number 8, do it in the morning. Every success book ever touts about ego depletion, the idea that our willpower is like a muscle, a limited resource. I was curious, so I decided to dig up the science for you. Roy Boymeister and his team published what's with all these weird names of the researchers? If you look at my other videos, you should see the other names, man. Like, one for the video I'm creating now, his name is Jürgen Gallinat. Roy Boymeister and his team published a study in 1998. They found that the self's capacity for active volition is limited and that a range of seemingly different, unrelated acts share a common resource. Ego depletion is the reason I develop habits in the morning, when my willpower muscle is at its peak. Number 9, the pain and pleasure principle. Every habit you pursue is based on this principle. Consider the pleasure you'll gain from regular exercise. Now consider the pain of being sedentary, aka a lazy ass. By ingraining this into your mind, you'll gain more motivation to stick to your desired habit. Finally, number 10, write it down. Again, I'll let Nathan explain why this is critical for success.
In a study published in the British Journal of Health Psychology, researchers wanted to see if a person embarking on a 2-week exercise program would exercise more if they explicitly wrote down the following behavior statement. During the next week, I will partake in at least 20 minutes of vigorous exercise on a day, at a certain time, and in a certain place. They filled in the day, the time, and the place to whatever suited them best. The researchers found that those who wrote down their intended behavior were 3 times more likely to complete their exercise program than those who never wrote down an intended behavior at all. Therefore, the first step to increase the chances of a habit becoming a productive member of your factory is to explicitly state when and where that habit will take action each day. For example, every day after making my morning coffee, I will sit down at my desk and start reading a book related to the field I want to master.
Be sure to watch Productivity Game's goldmine of a video on habit development. This guy is a massively underrated YouTuber in the now saturated animated self-development niche. Get around the bloke. If you're new here, subscribe and become a lad today. As always, I hope this video made you 1% better.
New Lamborghini here. Knowledge bookshelves that I had to get installed.